So revolving, and to understand what exactly revolving is, I'm going to jump to 3D application, which is 3ds Max. I know that this might not be the perfect solution for that. Maybe I should explain it in Photoshop, but I think some of these concepts will be a little bit easier to explain in a 3D application. So this is my 3D application. This is a 3ds Max. I'm going to create a spline. So this is like the bath, creating bath in Photoshop. So I'm going to show you the revolve. So let's just, you can see because I'm 3D applications, I have a lot more 3D capabilities, so I don't have to close the shape like in Photoshop. Which is in Photoshop, you should have your bath closed. You can have an open bath and create a shape from it. Okay, so in 3D application like 3ds Max, revolving it's called lathe or lathing. So you can call it any way you want. You have revolving or lathing. So I'm going to show you this. Now here's my 3D mesh. You can see. If you look at my mesh, you can see it's reflecting the same shape, but it has a little bit, it's not exactly the same. Okay, let me see the reason here. Can you see this dark line that I have here in the middle? This is my axis. So go to Photoshop, do something like, okay, can you see the deformation axis? Okay, this is the deformation axis, and this what's happening. What's happening is the lathe is going around this axis. So here's the lathe. You can see it's not reflecting my object exactly. If I wanted to do that, I'm going to move this lathe, move the axis. So I'll move it. You can see now the lathe will happen around this axis. So this shape will revolve around it 360 degrees. Can you see this? Now if I toggle on and off, you can see the contour here is the same. I'm only transforming this 2D bath into a 3D shape. So this is it. If I'll go ahead now and adjust my shape, my contour, you can see how this will be reflected. Okay, so let's see how we can do that in Photoshop. Now in Photoshop you don't have a lathe or just directly lathe or revolve option. So you can see we just talked about all these options and we don't have that. But we can do that in a different way. And let me show you this. I'm going to create a new document and go to the bath tool, to the pen tool, and I'm going to create just a very simple bath here. I'm not going to be very precise and artistic and some like these things. So okay, so this is my closed bath, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select work bath and make a 3D extrusion. Now for now you can see this is the same result that we can get because we can just create a lathe or revolve directly in Photoshop. So we have to start with an extrusion. Then what we can do is we can create a bend. I'm going to go to the properties, go to the bend, and we make 360 degrees bend. 360. So this is the other way around. So we'll go ahead. You can see this reflecting the left edge, which is just straight line. I'll go to minus 360. This will be creating my glass. So you can see I have some results that is not as I expected. Now this is because the deformation axis, as I showed you, is in the middle. So if I want to fix this, I can take it to the left, and you can see that fixed. That just right away changed the whole shape. Look to the right, you can see metal. So if it was in a vertical axis, it's not going to be any different because I only have axis that going around the. I don't have anything going vertically, so this won't make any change. But if we will take it from right to left to center, this is where change will be. And you can adjust the shape by adjusting the extrusion depth. And you can see I have this fill. This is like the cap is very filled here. So if you want to do that better, you can just do a better shape. For example, let's just select this one, edit the source. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some like a bone here. Then I will just take this one down, and I'm going to change this, for example. Then I can just keep adding more of these. Okay, so here's that. Close and say yes. So you can see now I have a better shape, like more realistic glass. I still have some gap here. I can adjust this using the extrusion, just adjust it until I close the gap. And here's my 3D glass inside of Photoshop.